Well, I don't know if it's part of the future, but it's definitely been part of the past. There's actually been a lot of articles in the recent history here about scientists and engineers reverse engineering Roman concrete, of all things, over 2,000 years ago. One of the things that's interesting about Roman architecture and structures is that they're still standing up in a lot of them, and they use what is essentially a concrete blend. So how can a building that's 20 years old experience lots of issues with corrosion and spalling and issues within the rebar, but a structure that's 2,000 years old still stands strong today? And what the engineers and scientists have found out is that there were ingredients in the mixtures of Roman concrete that had self-healing, properties of it. While that is nice and true, and they have stood for thousands of years, the problem is that it won't comply to today's building standards. So I get this question, I get tagged a lot in posts online and social media as, is your business going to go under because the wave of the future? And the reality is that we're still a very long way off, even though we know that it's been used thousands of years ago. That concrete, while it's still standing and strong today, wouldn't meet the design criteria of today for larger infrastructure such as high rises or skyscrapers, etc. There's other engineering groups and people who are actually putting additives into concrete that do have self-healing on micro fissures and cracking issues. So when you have small shrinkage cracks, it will tend to heal itself up over time and continue to harden. But that doesn't deal with major shifting or settling cracks or potential structural issues of the actual concrete or the ground itself, the geotechnical side. The other big inhibitor to this technology is cost. Concrete is one of the most widely made materials on Earth and consumes a lot of resources, both financially and of raw materials. And the process has been established. It's very well regulated, especially in the commercial setting. And this technology is relatively cheap, current technology for making concrete. And if you're building a large building or a commercial property or even a residential home, every dollar per pound or cent per pound of material adds up significantly in construction costs. So, either the house price of construction or the building price of construction goes up quite a bit, or the profit margin of the company of construction tends to go down. So as of right now, we're still probably a little ways off for self-healing concrete on a regular basis. It may be something in the future that is going to be something that we'll see more often, but it still won't negate major structural issues or major settlement issues, which is more typical what we see, especially in residential concrete. So even though the Romans may have figured it out a couple thousand years ago, today we just build buildings differently than we did 2,000 years ago, and their magic concrete, that definitely wouldn't hold up to what we expect concrete to do nowadays, even though some of their lessons learned is very promising to add in for different features in the future. But right now, we got regular old concrete that cracks just like any other concrete. And that's why you need a professional like us to help kind of sort through what's real, what's future, and what's just fake.